January 24th, area plan meeting. We will start with the introduction of members. State your name and then who you're representing as far as the different entities. We'll start with you, John.
My name is John Downey, live over in Jefferson Township. We're gonna interview on the
Commissioners.
commissioners.
I'm Sandy Flora, with the Delphi City Council.
Kevin Gibbons, the Carroll County Ag Extension.
Doug Walker, representing schools.
Brad Farr, the county council.
Mary Ann Burton, City of Delphi, Mayor.
Don Shockley, the county surveyor.
Patrick Marley, it's Town of Yeoman.
Cameron Yates, area planning director. Again, John is the newest member for the Carroll County Commissioners, and then Pat was a former member before Jim Enid and represents small town. So goes from Burlington back to Yeoman. So welcome both of you, and thanks for being here.
Okay. All right, now we go into the business portion here where we talk about the approval of the minutes from the last meeting, which was September 27th.
It's been a while.
Everybody remember that meeting? Is there any revisions, additions, corrections that you can tell from and remember from that last meeting? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Kevin seconds. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Election of officers. I will now open up for nominations.
Motion to keep Brad as president and Doug as vice president this year, the new members we have.
I'll make a second.
Any discussion, any other nominations? On the motion to close the nominations.
I'll make a motion to close the nominations.
Second, all those in favor of closing the nominations, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. Do we technically need a vote, or since we only have one slate of officers? We need to have a
Well,
motion.
we need to do an admin committee as well.
Okay. Sandy, you were on the admin committee before. That's just basically looking at.
Cameron,
Yes.
yeah, they can do the, accept the officers by acclamation since there was no one objecting to it.
Okay. And then Jim Enid was on that admin.
Okay.
So on me and Doug.
Sandy, you've been on before, maybe a couple of years ago. Would you be interested? And what the admin committee does is,
Open it
the,
up first for,
yeah.
once you get.
See who would be interested, but the admin committee basically does your job review and a couple other things if you're having issues and whatnot.
So, job review and any administrative issues, we'll have a special meeting or anything that comes in hand with the office or anything outside general business, so.
You need a motion on that, Cameron?
We need to open up for,
How many we meet? 3?
Well, two, Doug.
Doug presides over that, and as we need to. And Donnie's, Mary Ann's going off the board.
I'll nominate Sandy. For the committee.
You've been on before, would you be interested in being on the admin committee? I know we're throwing your feet to the fire here.
Sure, why not?
Okay. I nominate Pat for being the second member. Any seconds? Any other nominations or anything like that for admin committee? I'll have a motion to close the nominations for the admin committee.
I'll make a motion to close the nominations.
a second?
Second.
And a second, so all those in favor of closing the nominations for the admin committee? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. That is our admin committee.
Okay, move on to regular business now.
And the next item on the agenda is the City of Delphi's comprehensive plan public hearing regarding that issue. Cameron, you wanna give us an overview of what it is, and then we will hear from the City of Delphi.
Okay, so did you open it to the public yet, or?
No, I'm waiting for you to give
So
your
basically,
overview.
this is, the city of Delphi is, in the process of, starting their own, UDO, and the first part of that is the draft comprehensive plan, which, is presented in front of the area plan commission, and then we will make a favorable or unfavorable or no recommendation back to the city of Delphi, the Delphi City Council. So tonight is the public hearing for comment on that, and we have the city of Delphi present, as well as, Rachel from, HWC, so, you're ready to open up, I believe, if Rachel wants to, if anybody wants to speak, so they're here to.
I'll open it up to the City of Delphi to give an explanation of the comprehensive plan, and then we'll do the public hearing.
Hey, everyone.
If you would, state your name for the record and everything else.
My name is Rachel Christensen, and I'm with HWC Engineering. I'm gonna go ahead and pass out some handouts that are just my presentation. You're welcome. I didn't have to tell you that. I thought I saved it, but I realized when I got finished. You're welcome. All right. Thanks for having us tonight. Again, can you guys hear me okay? And
Yeah.
all right. So Rachel Christensen with HWC Engineering. The city of Delphi hired us to complete their comprehensive master plan. You guys should have all had a copy of that either emailed to you or a link to it on the website emailed to you to take a look at prior to this meeting, but I'm just gonna go over briefly, what the process was, why they were doing it, some of the things that we found during public input, and then recommendations kind of some high-level recommendations that we put into the plan. If you go to the slide, or the page that has slide number 3 on it, we had a 9-month planning process. This plan is an OKRA funded plan, so OKRA is the Office of Community and Rural Affairs, and they give money to local community, or small communities and large communities to do planning projects like these, just to help, put a plan in place on how the community will develop and grow over time. Our process had a 4-phase process. The first one is the project kickoff and visioning phase. We moved then to the consensus building phase. There was also the plan development phase, where we actually put a document together. And then now we are in the plan review and adoption phase. And you are an important component of that adoption phase. If you look down on slide number 4, we did a lot of public engagement as part of this process, and that's one of the requirements of any good plan, is having that public engagement. We had a community workshop where over 25 participants attended in that workshop. You can see the photo that's on that slide is from that meeting. We also held many stakeholder groups where we pulled in people who maybe had some more specialized area or specialized knowledge in different areas that were coming up as hot topics for the plan. So, one of those groups that we had was a housing group, with some realtors and people who had, like I said, that specialized knowledge in those areas. Another one was workforce development. We also had a stakeholder group that had some youth in it, so some high school students and some recent high school graduates. We got some really good feedback from that group as well. Total, we had 7 stakeholder meetings with 17 participants. We also did an online survey that maybe you guys took yourselves. We had that open open from May 25th until June 19th, and we had 183 responses to that, which for a community of Delphi size is excellent. We also had a project website for the duration of the project, and it's still up now, so if you're super interested, you can check it out after our meeting. And as of last month, we had 685 views on that website. Next, I'll go into kind of our executive summary, that high-level overview of what we found in the plan and what the top goals are for the plan. The first one is to increase quality housing opportunities. Some of the things that we thought were important to include in that were, we want to provide a range of housing options that support some growth in Delphi. We want to continue code enforcement actions to address blighted properties. We also thought it was important to develop a rehab program for residential properties, so kind of elevating the quality of housing level from what it is currently. And also providing that range so that, if you are a young family in Delphi, you have a place to live, but if you want to retire in Delphi and you need a smaller home, that's available for you as well. And also a range of housing prices are available. The next key strategy is to expand local government capacity. So things that kind of fell into this category, as Cameron kind of alluded to, that Delphi is considering forming an advisory planning commission so that they would take some of those planning duties and provide those more locally for them. They're going to work towards providing in-house building inspection services, so that, and that might take a different shape or form depending on which direction they want to go with it, contracting it out at first or then pulling it in-house. They also want to prepare city departments for the future. One of the comments that came up a lot was that, there is, you're approaching retirement age for some of the people who are on city staff, so how do we transition that so that we can provide high quality and effective services that the city of Delphi is used to. Centralizing communication efforts, social media and websites, and having that sort of presence is becoming more and more important for communities. Consider developing a stormwater utility fee. That's just a way that the city can collect more funds so that they can put money towards infrastructure projects that relate to stormwater. And then also looking at considering adopting an extraterritorial jurisdiction ordinance, which would be looking at a 2-mile buffer around the city of Delphi and doing zoning activities for those areas. The next key plan strategy is to support local jobs and workforce. And we all know that having places to work in Delphi is extremely important to making sure that people live here and play here and work here, and it affects your school systems too. We want to make sure that we ensure that all levels of the workforce have attainable housing opportunities, so that kind of ties back to that first strategy that we talked about. We want to pursue initiatives to bridge the gap between secondary schools and local career opportunities. When we talked to that focus group with the students, they said they weren't really sure what the opportunities were to work in Delphi once they got done with high school or even college. So having the city of Delphi kind of focus on how do we let them know what those opportunities are was important. Also identify appropriate locations for new businesses and industry and pursue efforts on the promotion and marketing of such locations. So that's, an economic development piece. What types of businesses do we want in Delphi and how do we get them here? The next key plan strategy is to invest in quality of place. Delphi is a wonderful community already, and so just making sure that we keep elevating that quality of life here. Some of the things that came out of that discussion were working on a bicycle and pedestrian master plan, which the city did start pursuing as we were working on the comprehensive plan, so that should be coming across your guys' desks before too long for adoption. To develop a Parks and Recreation master plan, and then also continuing their efforts to expand quality broadband access throughout Delphi. As we know, after COVID, there's a lot of people who choose where to live, not because the job is there, but based on that quality of life, and having that internet access is incredibly important. And I wouldn't say that a plan would be complete without addressing Delphi's downtown. Supporting the Main Street organization is important. Pursuing efforts to retain and expand existing businesses, developing a downtown business recruitment strategy, and having a resources and incentives toolkit. The city would like to work to appropriately direct truck traffic away from the of the main things that we should all have in our comprehensive plans is a future land use map. So that's something that we took some time to develop with the city. Future land use maps, as I'm sure this board is well aware of, but for the public, future land use maps are intended to be used as a guide for making decisions and policies for future land uses and developments. This is not a zoning map. However, when someone does want a rezone on a property, the plan commissions look at this map to determine if that is something that the city or the county is wanting to see there. So that is, we did put a map together on that. That is on your handout. It's on slides 12 and 13. 13 is a little bit more zoomed in. You can see that there's some commercial districts. There's a downtown mixed district along 421 Washington Street area. There's more of a mixed use district that has been identified. Where the schools are, that is institutional, but a majority of the community is residential. You can see that those are kind of the yellow colors that are on there. Residential. Now I've thrown a ton of information at you guys so far. Are there any questions from the plan commission at this point? And then I can just tell you a little bit about the path to adoption, so we all know what our role is on this. So we did do a public presentation of this plan last month at the City of Delphi's City Council meeting. We did have a public hearing for the use of the CDBG funds from Okra, and we did have some members of the public participate in that. Tonight, what the city will be looking for is that recommendation on whether or not the city council should approve it or not approve it, or if you guys have no recommendation, that's okay too. But the next step after that tonight, we'll be going back to the Delphi City Council on February 6th, where they will consider this for adoption. You're welcome, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any questions from the board? Okay. Well, it appears that it is 6:17. I will open it up for public comments. Is there anybody, I'll start with the front row. Is there anybody from the front row that wants to make a public comment regarding the Delphi, City of Delphi comprehensive plan? Second row. Third row. Anyone want to add any comments? Fourth row. Comments regarding the Delphi, City of Delphi comprehensive plan? Seeing as there's no public comments, I will close the public hearing portion at basically 6:18. Any discussion amongst the board? Now what, I need a motion, right?
Yes.
Send it to-
Favorable, unfavorable, or a recommendation, and this would be sent back to the city, Delphi City Council.
I will now entertain a motion regarding this comprehensive plan for the City of Delphi.
I'll make a motion that we send a favorable recommendation to the Delphi City Council on the comprehensive plan.
Do I have a second? Kevin seconds.
Cameron?
Yes, go ahead, Cindy.
I would probably ask that the, motion be amended to notify the Delphi City Council that you've listened to the plan. It does contain all of the elements required by the state, to be a proper comprehensive plan for the area.
Okay.
You wanna amend your,
Okay,
It's this, the comprehensive plan that she just presented is the same that we have for the county.
okay.
So it's the same format as the standard comprehensive plan. You get that right? See if he gets it right, so.
Okay, so that motion is to make a favorable recommendation to the Delphi City Council that the comprehensive plan presented has met all the elements required by the state.
yeah. I have a second for the amended, Kevin seconds. Okay. Any discussion on this. The motion that was amended is to make a favorable recommendation to the Delphi City Council regarding their comprehensive plan that meets all the requirements from the state of Indiana. Okay, if there's no other discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on.
Cindy, can we still have to do the BZA member and then the meeting dates? Can we go ahead and get the petition done first so we can get them out here and do that as last? Okay.
Rezone, sure.
Yeah,
Let's move the rezone up.
yeah, that way we can get them out here and then see afterwards. We're here waiting patiently on it.
Yep. We're gonna move on to the rezone for property. You guys should add that in the packet, I believe it's going to I-2, right? I-2, right?
Right.
Use property. Cameron, you wanna give us a overview of the request for the rezone, and then we'll hear from the petitioners.
So Tim Siegel, and the Dukes family are both present. We are here tonight to petition for a rezone from ag to I-2. Tim was in front of us, I believe, not the last meeting, September, or it was one of the last meetings in 2022 for another adjacent property for the same goal of getting this rezoned to I-2. He currently has a facility out there where he lines stone, rock, and I believe, speaking with him, this is obviously for future development or future expansion for his business, so they're here to present their petition from ag to I-2.
Tim, you wanna add anything?
Not necessarily. Just like Cameron said.
Yeah. Same as the property that they had in the
Same area.
same area.
It's the same area, there's 3 parcels, there's 3 parcels.
Yeah.
And like I said, the Dukes family is present, that it's, land is present. All those that are highlighted are the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead and open it up for public comments at 6:23. Anybody wanna make a public comment regarding rezone on row 1?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Cameron, does this include the land across Bicycle Bridge Road?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
That's one of the 3 parcels.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I believe it's part of it, that parcel is, on the north side, and then the other end of that parcel is on the south side. So that's all one parcel, it's split by Bicycle Bridge. So,
Yeah, I was looking it up on GIS, yeah.
and see if I can get that.
90% of that parcel is on the north side.
Yeah.
Any comments from the second row? Public comments? Third row, public comments? Fourth row, public comments? Seeing as there's no public comments, I'll close the public hearing session of this rezone at 6:24.
We will be making a recommendation to or final approval will be by the Carroll County Commissioner.
Right, so we need a motion to go to the commissioners.
Correct.
Final.
I make a motion to give favorable recommendation to the rezoning in ag to I-2.
I'll second.
Motion for Mary Ann. Is there any other discussion from the board during this rezone? Seeing as none, I have a motion on the floor to make a favorable recommendation to the county commissioners to rezone this parcel from agriculture to I-2. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for I'll have, we'll sign these after the meeting. I'll have 2 forms for you.
Okay. Meeting dates?
Yes, you guys were all sent the meeting dates, which again are the 4th Tuesday of each month, minus December.
Yep. need a motion
Approve or
to
disapprove?
move forward with meeting dates?
I'll make that motion that we keep our meeting dates the fourth Tuesday of each month, except on December.
Second from Doug. Any discussion from the board? Okay, I have a motions on the floor to approve the meeting dates, which is the fourth Tuesday of every month. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. BZA appointment.
Yes, and Cindy, so the BZA appointment from the Area Planning Commission is a citizen member. Jeff Watson held that position last time. I know it can only be a citizen member, which is three options, I believe. We got John Downey, Doug Walker, and Mary Ann, I think, is that correct, Ryan? But she's gonna be, this is Mary Ann's last month, so I believe it's gonna be Doug. Those are the only two that are citizen members, correct, Cindy?
Well, I mean, anyone that's not an elected official.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're under, we're small town. So Pat Marley,
He's elected. Yeah, I think he's elected to be on the board, right?
he was appointed. He's not, you're not on the council for Yoma, correct?
I
You
mean,
are on
someone
it,
in,
yeah, so-
in a state election or a county election,
Okay.
not an appointment.
So it'll be Doug Walker and John Downey.
But I already am, right, because it's.
Yes.
Yeah. Kevin.
And then Jordan, which Jordan is not here, so. So that's your option.
You were on this past year, right?
Yeah, I recommend school on it.
So he, yeah, so he's, and then, Jeff Watson.
So we need somebody else, we need a second person.
Correct.
I'll have nominations. John, Kevin, is Kevin eligible to be on it?
That's a new position with the state, so that's a tricky one, because we don't know the status of the extension.
Because you have the
Yeah,
extension.
so if the extension office comes back with us with a member that lives in county, unfortunately, I don't know, I know at that point, we won't need Kevin by code, because he was a replacement, because Kelsey lived in Howard County. So
Right.
if we get someone that's out of county, such as Kelsey, then Kevin will stay on the board, that's that new.
Right, so we,
So, I mean, it's one of those where we don't know who we're gonna get from the extension office, and I reached out to them, and they've, not made a decision, and it's a rather lengthy process. Yeah, so I have no idea when they'll have a date for that, so just keep that in mind. So, that's unfortunate, I've been calling them every month, trying to, say, hey, we need a member, but that's not working, so.
Are you interested, Joe, in that, or? Okay.
what are the duties, basically?
So it's the Board of Zoning Appeals, which, right after our meeting, we go to the Board of Zoning Appeals, and, basically, and he's very, familiar with zoning, he's got an extensive background, in it, so anyone can attend anything within the zoning ordinance, or, file like we had one last year that filed it's anything within the zoning ordinance that someone would like to appeal, or a variance, or a special exception, so, which John's pretty well versed in, so, not to throw that little concept for
Well,
you.
I'll make a motion that we have John Downey for a nomination. We nominate John Downey, there you go, to the BZA.
Is there a second?
Second.
Doug seconds. Is there a motion to close nominations? Is there a second? Kevin seconds. Motion to close. All those in favor of close nominations, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay.
It's John.
First meeting, and now you got two roles. you, sir, so that's,
Yep. Okay. I think we're moving on to director's report.
yes. So, since the last time we spoke last year, I sent you guys the, first things first, I guess, is everybody, we discovered a issue Friday that our email for, the mass email for all you guys shows every member. However, showing that it went to Donnie, it actually did not. So, we had to do this every year again. Carroll County Technology within the courthouse is a little tricky because of the size of PDFs and all that, so is everybody getting emails? Yeah, I usually send 2 or 3 things a week, sometimes there's not much to send, and I don't want to jam you all up, but there's nothing that's important at the time, so I want to make sure everybody's email's working, your passwords are working, you're in, because you're gonna get a lot more once the year goes, so if you don't have access, please get with me. Randy and I usually get that knocked out the same day. That way everybody's getting the information they need. Other than that, so last year, the comparison from 2021 to 2022, we were down 17 new homes. So we went from 30 to 17. We were down 24 permits. We went from 282. And we were down 24. So the 2021 we had 306. It's no surprise that 2022 was a battle for everybody. So we were fees and assessments. Total values for assessments, we were down $12,388,476, and then fees for the office, we were down $13,000. So, you know, that reflects the year that we had with building, and yeah. So we're fortunate that we had 30, and it was a risk that people took, but we're fortunate for that. So this month, I don't think we have any to start with.
What was the office now?
I'll give you this one, and you should have, I sent you the comparison with all the colors on that, but, yeah. So, other than that, we've started the year off with a lot of office calls like normal. Gloria's doing a good job, as she always does. Cindy's there when we need her, and getting a lot of flood zone related items. People on rivers is trying to build the FEMA and DNR rules and regulations, so. Other than that, just keep them busy, and good to see you guys again, and hopefully we can have another good year. No issues. That's all I have.
Anybody have anything for Cameron?
What's that?
Does anybody have anything for Cameron?
Happy birthday yesterday. I missed it.
Thank you. I forgot about it.
You forgot
Until, yeah, it was Sunday morning until I was reminded by my phone went off 60 times a minute. Thank you.
Cindy, do you have a report?
Just that I'm excited about starting another new year and be there to help whatever they need.
We probably shouldn't ask you what the weather's like out there.
It's like 72
Yeah.
degrees and sunny. It's
Uh-huh.
wonderful.
Yeah, same what it is here. California.
Okay, anybody got anything for Cindy while she's on here? Anything else from the board? Welcome aboard, new members. Doug, got anything? Anybody got anything? Anita?
Yes, I just wanted to let the board know that there will be a public open house from FEMA to discuss the new flood insurance rate maps for Delphi area in particular, on the Wabash levee areas. And that will be at the community center on February 15th at 6:00 p.m. And then a week later, there'll also be a virtual meeting where there'll be FEMA reps available to answer questions. So we'll be getting notices out on that, but just to give you a heads up that will be coming up, since you mentioned floodplains and so forth.
Yes, there's so many things that's been going every direction. So, and I will send you guys those meeting dates, that way you can save them and everything for both of those. Coming up quick.
Quick question. what are the main questions that people are calling in and asking of with FEMA and flood?
They're just asking, so, building regulations, one, they're asking if they're in a flood zone, so we immediately do a FARO, which shows them kind of where they need to start. That's the very first thing they have to know if their base flood elevation shows that they're in or out, so we kind of go through step by step on, we have a spreadsheet that shows if you're in the flood zone, if you're in the floodway, which way to go next, so we go through that with them, but it's basically, can I build, number one, and then what's the next steps afterwards, which is tricky because it just depends where they're at and how close they are to the flood zone, floodway. So anything in the floodway is different than the flood zone. The floodway is depicted by the state, and everything gets sent to the DNR first, before we even get a look at it. So once it gets past that, then it comes back to the local office, and then we issue a local permit as well. So there's several different directions that can go, and that's usually the questions we get. Can I build? How do I build? You know, how can I build and all that? Which, unfortunately, with today's world, with the price of construction, that added cost, if you have to raise a house now 2 feet, it scares a lot of people away from doing that. But we did get several of them that did small renovations, so that's the questions we're getting is what's all involved, and there is a lot to it. So, but there's a few of them that we've gotten that are willing to tear the house down and start over and make it fully compliant. So that's what we want. So that was a couple of calls that we got 2 weeks ago. So we get a lot of calls in the office every day. It's good. People, they know that we're in there, and they're calling prior to starting construction. So that's good. From 4 years ago where, we didn't have staff in the office, so Gloria's nonstop answering the phone, and we're getting questions answered. Donnie's out and about answering questions in the public, so we're making progress.
Cameron, I will say that the presentation you gave for the realtors, lenders, and how people at the was very good. Brainstorming was very good.
So, and I think I sent you guys this, the state of Indiana, the trading conference I went to last year, encourages all floodplain administrators to work with your realtors, your local realtors. Let them know what the flood zones are, let them know, a lot of the information. I think they have to do a 1 or 2 hour class to get their real estate license, but for some, it's been several years. So what I did was just refresh them on what the flood zones look like on Beacon, the different zones, all the information that they can call us and ask before selling a home. That way the people don't buy the home and then now they can't build. So we've had that happen. We've had a couple that bought the house and went to remodel it and can't. So getting that information to the new homeowners prior to that was key. That's what we had a training on, and Doug Wagner was there from the state to help out. Yeah, so it went well.
Good. Anybody got anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Sandy seconds. All those in favor to adjourn, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
You want me to start up another meeting at 7, since we got 20 minutes?
It doesn't matter, I can just leave it on and figure it out.
Okay.
I'll do that.
Okay. Thank you, Cindy.
Okay?